Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Coach Tiffany Parra, editor-in-chief of Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. Today is Mental Monday, y'all. Welcome to Mental Monday. We made it from probably a crazy weekend. I know I had a crazy weekend, but anyway, I have some of our amazing contributing writers here in the house. I'm going to go ahead and bring them on in and let them introduce themselves. Hey, good morning, Stephanie.
Hello.
Hey, good morning, Jeffrey Edwards.
What up, Joe? What's good?
Oh, goodness. I'm so excited to just see y'all today on this Mental Monday and just to dig into this conversation about caregiving and all that good stuff. But before we begin, let me go ahead and let y'all take a moment to introduce yourselves, tell everyone who you are, where you're from, and just a little bit about what you do. Go ahead, Stephanie.
My name is Stephanie Malink. I am the owner of Malink Publishing, which has Right by Steph, the Collinsville Daily News, and the Granite City Daily News as subsidiaries. And I am also an author, and I have an excellent book if you are a caregiver, The ABCs of Living Independently When You Are Older or Frail. It will help you care for your parents and keep them in their homes longer, and it will help you start planning so that you don't have to go into a nursing home and so that you don't have to be a burden on family. It doesn't have to be either or.
Right. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Steph. Welcome. All right, Jeffrey, go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
I'm Jeffrey L. Edwards from Detroit. So I always say, what up, though? You know. Best-selling author, anthology, Snap Men's Edition. Four-time published author. My latest book, Daily Day Devotional, is out on Amazon. Help you every day out the year. Musician, journalist, CEO and host of 3 Jelly brand shows, Middle Ground with JL Lee, where we interview to help people find their purpose. Sports Line with JL Lee and Marte. We're going to talk a lot of trash about sports. And Ground Floor Social Panel Discuss Show, where we talk about everything going on in the world.
Nice. Awesome. Well, welcome, Jeffrey. It's always great to take the stage with both of you, and we are taking stage on the Own It magazine and publishing platform this morning. So thank you so much. So today's topic, caregivers, helpers, and empaths. They often neglect themselves, leading to compassion fatigue, emotional burnout. I want to just go around the room real quickly because I know the three of us, I've caregived on, a certain level. You all have caregived on a certain level as well. So please just kind of share your experience of being a caregiver and a helper. And we'll dive into our questions, about caregiver burnout. So Steph, go ahead and just kind of explain, a little bit of your background of, being a caregiver, a helper, and an empath as well.
Goodness, I've been doing those things. I've been on this earth 49 years. I've probably been all those things for at least 40 of those years. Started out, I'm the youngest on both sides of the family. So my grandparents aged fast. I didn't have the cool grandparents that were going to sports games and vacations and everything. I was visiting my grandparents in nursing homes, and so I was helping my parents with that and making sure they had all their needs met, making sure they weren't being abused. uh, my dad was the most recent that I was a caregiver for. I begged him to stay home, but because he had the financial means to have the bed, have the staff, but he insisted on being in a nursing home, and that was guilt. That was a big guilt thing for me. I'm like, I know that he can do this. I have the means to do it. I know all the tips, the tools, the trades, and yet his pride got in the way pretty much. He did not want anyone in his home to care for him. He didn't even like when he'd had strokes to have therapists come in or anything. Being a caregiver is hard no matter where they are, if they're at home, if they're in a facility, wherever, because you've got to deal with different personalities. You have to be the advocate, which a lot of people, they'll go to the nursing home every day to see a loved one. I used to work in a nursing home too, and I would see the adult children come in, and all they would do would be walk around, complain, this is dirty, that's dirty. why aren't you doing the special list that I have for activities for mom? Why this? Why that? And you could tell that a lot of that may have been because of guilt, but they were making things harder on themselves. Jumping to
Yeah.
the empath. I've been an empath forever. I can read people's minds through their eyes. I can tell when they're hurting. I can tell when they want to be somewhere, when they don't want to be somewhere. I can tell when they're trying and getting shut down. I'm someone that tries constantly and am always being shut down. When you read the August Phoenix Fitness Fanatics that I'm going to be the cover girl on, you will read my
I
story about being bullied and the emotional turmoil that causes, especially from cyberbullying, which there are no laws to
Right.
protect people on these days.
It's so true.
mm,
So true. Thanks, Stephanie. Thanks so much. So, Jeffrey, so talk a little bit about your
um,
experience as a caregiver as well. I know we were talking a little bit backstage about your experience too. Let's
yeah.
share.
First, want to pray for all the people that are in that field because the resolve it takes to really do that job
Mm-hmm.
and to see what the person going through is tough. And as we're talking on screen, I did it for my dad when I was 12 before he passed from kidney failure. And it sucked for him that put him on the potty stool they have for him, wash him up, sometimes feed him. And for me, I would treat to music because I'm like,
Mm,
this dude ain't looking right.
right.
He graduated 96, just like 89. Like, I don't know if he's going to be here. I hope he do, but I don't know. And unfortunately, January 6, 91, he passed. And the way my family responded was they already retreated to their own world. So
Mm,
I was left to become an adult early. So I had to, you got to figure out life.
right. Right.
And dealing with all of the gangs, the dope dealers trying to recruit, they think, oh, your dad ain't around, I be your family. I love women, bro. Ain't nothing in prison. Get out my face. I'm a nerd. I'm hit these books and talk to females. That's free. I ain't gonna worry about nobody trying to get me because I ain't doing that. Nah, y'all. I ain't claiming nothing but books about that. Y'all. And
Right.
over that time, when I started thinking more about it, I would drink gin and juice, smoke weed to not think about it. And even
Mm,
once my senior year got here, by that second semester, when 96 actually hit, every fifth hour in Spanish, I would get depressed and be looking out the window like, nah. The boys start talking like, hey, he ain't gonna see you. What you gonna do? You're gonna be 18 soon. How you gonna figure out life? Ha ha. But you got good people around you that like, I mean, dad was a pastor, right? You know God, so God got you, we got you. You ain't gonna be over
that's
here
right.
depressed no more. You lead a group, I'm coming over here. And I thought she was joking. So I went back over there looking out the window. And I'm not knowing that she got up and walked from the group like, so you still thinking on that bull job, huh? Oh damn, where you coming from? I told you, you come over here, I'm coming over here. Then I'm gonna tell them, and we all gonna come over here. So either you're gonna tell the devil, shut the hell up, come back to the group, or we're gonna move where you are, because you ain't gonna be doing this no more. We about to graduate, we're gonna enjoy that. I know your dad ain't here, but he would want you to enjoy this last few years of unadulthood, because next is college and whatever you're trying to do. So
Right.
nah, happy time, we ain't doing that.
That's right.
And much love for doing that because sometimes people need to see you dealing with that.
Yeah.
And now
Absolutely.
I'm in a stage where my dad was a pastor. I ain't officially been for that for years. Like, no, 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 no. That's too much work. But people I know been dealing with stuff. So my home has been a church that got blessed with it for them to come, be a safe haven.
Amen.
And
Amen.
I noticed it can be tiring. So I'm leaning into working on my website, finishing my movie script and music to find a balance because it's good to help people, but you still got to take care of yourselves.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So that leads me to our question, a couple of questions that I have. about just being a caregiver, because I know being, a mother and a parent, and caregiving for children, can be hard. And then also, on the other end of the stick, having to care for, our elderly as they, transition and things like that. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Sometimes we're just going, 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 and we don't even realize it. We're all kind of on autopilot. So, what are some early signs of caregiver burnout? Um, and then my next question to you, because of being, very, empaths, how can you protect your energy without that guilt? Because I heard both of you kind of talking about, a little bit about that. So, first question. So let's go to you, Steph. So, what are some of those early signs of that caregiver burnout? Like, what are people looking for? So people can learn how to help
Yeah,
themselves.
not doing the things you loved when you were not on duty. That's a big one. Just not taking care of yourself, eating junk food, on the couch watching TV, not doing the things you enjoy, not reaching out to others that are offering to help you, or when others, or even when you reach out to people, or you not rewind,
Yeah.
not reaching out to people, and when people ask you because they know you're not okay and they ask you if you're okay and you flat out lie, that's a big sign.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Letting people, oh yeah, so yeah, I'm okay. Sure, yeah, everything's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but you can see it all in their face. Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Jeffrey? What are those signs? What are those signs of
Um,
early that burnout, in your opinion?
I know for me back then, you start feeling the weight of, wow, I'm about to get out of school and I'm about to be on the clock for the next few hours. And you start getting that dread, like, damn, well, he needed, but man, picking this dude up is heavy. You
Yeah.
feel that obligation to take care of it. And even if you fast forward now with people, if you're dealing with something, and since we do talk about mental health now, and they have that number 988 you can call, you
Mm-hmm.
need to unpack those emotions. So if someone you know does ask, well, how you feeling? Man, I'm feeling the weight of it right now. I'm dealing with A, B, C, D, E, and you need that download. Like I came across a study where they said, like for men, they need that brotherly bonding with a dude to download whatever they're going through, with marriage, family, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
to put a little bit off you so you can put some more on. Probably the same with women as well. You
Yeah.
need that person you can download
Right.
what you've been dealing with so you can get back in there and deal with some more.
Right. No, that's right. I think with that, I think women tend to communicate more with each other, and for men, I think sometimes it's a little bit harder. And I'm so glad to see more men's groups coming up, and more of, them finally starting to share that emotion, because that right there could lead to burnout, just keeping those emotions inside, and you don't want to. So I commend you for being, a part of some of these groups as well, that are bringing, men together, and that you're having these talks with, some of your, your friends as well out there, and helping them to open up, because that's huge. It's huge. So how do we protect
Um,
our energy? How
to
do we
some
protect?
female,
Go ahead.
I
Oh, go
mean,
ahead,
to
Jeff.
some females out here, unfortunately, they think men are terminators. No, we have emotions too, and they need to feel safe around you to express it. Or
That's
you
true.
ain't no, in my opinion, a good woman because why you want him to be he-man all day long? But then when he want to
Mm,
come to you, oh girl, this old sucker telling me about how he missed on his dad or something like that. They
wow.
don't talk about it because that's how they get treated. They need to feel
Right.
safe to say, I'm going through. I miss my dad. I miss my mom, or whoever. They need that.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. And I think everybody needs to be, we need to be more open, because you're right. Men we tend to think that men are built strong and that they don't have emotions. Some people still have that in their head, that, you know, that they're not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to share those emotions. But again, like I said, sharing that emotion is everything. Sharing that emotion to me is what makes you a better man, you know, because you're able to share those
Agree.
emotions, right?
Mhm.
You're able to cry. You're able to, you know, I look, I'll be very transparent. My husband and I watch, you know, certain movies together, and both of us will be crying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's
and
dope.
I love that. I mean, that was something that for me was an attraction because of the fact that I saw that emotion and felt that emotion. So I love that you brought that up as well.
Got to unpack, man. You crash out. I've seen people everywhere on social media just crashing out over, like, over that.
Right. Right.
Wow. Okay.
Look, that brings us to that, to unsnapped, right? Because you're not even giving it a chance, right? To just,
Mm-hmm.
so tell me, what are some boundaries and self-care strategies? What are the ones that truly work in your opinion? So Steph, what are some of those boundaries that you've set? What are some of those self-care strategies that you've put in place that truly work for you?
For me, the big ones have always been diet and sleep. Your body renews itself when you sleep at night, but if you haven't been feeding it right during the day when you're awake, your body's not going to have the fuel it needs to rebuild and recoup overnight while you're sleeping. Sleep is important because it takes all that excess
Mm-hmm.
information from your brain that
Hmm.
you no longer need, and it puts it in the recycling bin and lights it on fire immediately. It's not something that's going to come back unless it's something that you are brooding on. And if you find something keeps coming back, stop brooding on it. Interrupt your thoughts with something positive. Sometimes I'll be upset about something and all I have to do is look at my cat and I'm like, okay, I'm better now. She needs me. I'm good.
Animal therapy, some of the best therapy.
Yes, I took my cat to the nursing homes my dad was at, my previous cat, one of my
Oh,
previous cats, and everyone loved her. And she was
wow.
a therapy cat, even though I never had her trained. When I worked in nursing homes, I would take her to work. She would just lay in people's laps and
Oh,
purr and let them stroke her. And you could tell everyone was so happy when I brought Angel to work. And one of the nursing homes when I took for dad, this one lady, she's like, I don't know if I want that cat next to me. She's gonna claw me up. Well, number one, this was before I knew better, and she had been declawed in the front, so I had no fears about that. And she just laid there and fell asleep.
oh, wow.
Nice.
I love that. What about you, Jeffrey? What are some of those boundaries and self-care strategies have
Um,
you put into place that truly work for you?
First, you gotta know your limit on how much you can take. So you know, like there's a visible line. Okay, this is my limit, and once you reach it, you need some me time, whatever that is. You know me, I watch some cartoons, chill out,
Love it.
eat, eat some sugar-free stuff because I'm down to 330 now. I lost 50 pounds, so it's working. Yeah.
Congratulations.
You know, but definitely cartoons, eating right, working out, like you said, sleep.
Yeah,
Maybe take a walk because you got to
that
unpack all that to keep going.
take a walk. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. I love getting out in the nature. You know, that's the self-care strategy that has always worked for me, and hugging trees. Whenever I feel just when I feel at my worst, you know, I really I am a true
Nice.
tree hugger. I really am. You know, and to just take that nice deep breath in through the nose, slowly out through the
Mm-hmm.
mouth, listen to your heart, and just, you know, just take that minute just to be, right? And
Actually,
have those healthy boundaries. Have the boundary of being able to say no. You know, if you're doing too much, sometimes you have to say no, and sometimes you have to ask for help, especially
yeah.
in a caregiver situation. You know, even if you feel like you don't have help, you do have help. You just
Mm,
have to ask. You just have to ask.
yeah, that's
So
true.
everybody, It's Monday, Mental Monday. It's the start of a new week. So, what's some words of wisdom, words of encouragement, as well as how can our audience connect with you if they want to work with you? We'll start with you, Steph.
Just be strong. You don't have to be strong all the time, but you can't do anything drastic. You can't be extreme. Don't let the haters get to you. That's something I'm still struggling with learning, is not to let the haters get to me. My website is www.writebysteph.com. You can find a link to my book, The ABCs of Living Independently When You're Older or Frail, on there. Also, The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Clean Living. And then I've got a bunch of other content if you want to do write a autobiography or a little bit about your story. I can help you edit that. I can help you find anthologies to join if you don't want to write a whole book on your own. Whatever you need, I'm there for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Steph. All right, Mr. JLE.
First, you're still standing. Through whatever you've been through, you're still here. So that's a small win to celebrate.
That's right.
I really sit back and think about whatever you've been through, you're still here. Yeah. Body, mind, and spirit. So you can conquer anything. You want to reach out to me, you can go to my Instagram at Middle Ground with JLE, or LinkedIn, Jeffrey Edwards, Facebook, Jeffrey Edwards. You'll see this handsome face. Or my Gmail, middleground with JLE, LLC at gmail.com. If you need something, go to Amazon, look me up. Got 4 books. You can find my music. I was working my website last night, looking up my album so I could put on my new website. And this Skynet just really put who I was, what I'm doing. I'm like, oh my goodness. He got everything down there. I am somebody out here. Okay. How about that? Had a screenshot that like, wow, they got all the stuff down what I'm doing. Huh. So go be able to be Google too. That man Shaq always say Google. Put some work in. It's fun.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today. And all you caregivers out there, all you helpers, and all you empaths that are just really, truly trying to make that difference out there and just putting your all out there. We thank you so much for showing up every day. But we ask you to stop and take a moment for yourself, because self-care for you matters. And saying no to certain things that you can, please do so and take that time for you. So happy Mental Monday, y'all. We love you so much. This is Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine. If you'd like to subscribe and get your monthly subscription, you can go to phoenixfitnessfanaticsmag2021.com. If you'd like to be featured in the magazine, either in it or on the cover, you can hit me up at Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine at gmail.com, or you can Google me and get all that information as well. Right, Jeffrey? Google.
Google me, Chip. Google me.
All right, everybody. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you next time. Take care.